Hi there, Serial Trader here. Just want to do a quick update on Bitcoin. And so we're still in this corrective pattern that we've been in ever since the high we made there on June 26th. Now, I've gone through a few different scenarios over the last several videos on Bitcoin. And there's still, definitely some options in play here as far as what exact pattern is taking place here prior to resuming to the upside. But a few things to point out. So clearly, this is a kind of sideways corrective pattern within a larger uptrending, bullish market. So the bottom line is, however this resolves short term, higher highs are coming thereafter. But what I really want to focus on is this. So this sure looks like a triangle to me. I mean, you got your A down in 3, 3 up in B, 3 down in C. Now this D wave up, that doesn't look like a very good 3. It looks more like a 5 if you go in closer to it. And then we have this E wave down, which certainly looks like a 3-wave formation of some point. So the thing is, it might be like this. We might need that larger D, then a larger E. So then we need a, A, B, C up for D, A, B, C down for E, and then go up. So what I'm saying is, we might need more development in this D wave, and maybe the D wave isn't just done right there, okay? But either way, whether you want that larger D wave than E down, or if we already have the D and E in place, either way, this would be your hard low to trade against, right? And that's 93.58 here on Bitfinex. So what I want to kind of point out is just forget about the overall wave count and where we are in this trend. I'll certainly do another video on that in due time here. But what I really want to highlight is just the setup here, the triangle trade setup, if that's in fact what we have here. And sure looks like a triangle to me. I mean, often when a pattern is clear, that's really the one you should run with. And this sure looks like a triangle. So that being said, if you were to enter anywhere in your current levels, let's say enter right here, 10,000 and change, 10,400, wherever we're at, sorry, you could put your stop below this level, as that certainly looks like an interesting pivot we put in there, and that's at 98, let's call it 9,800, 9,814 on this this exchange. But then you'd run that, well, potential risk of getting stopped out if we do a D up and then come down in a deeper E. But even if we go up in a more complex D, and let me just kind of throw this out here. So even if we did this, okay, yeah, even if we did that, and we still needed to come down in E, you'd probably, I mean, not for sure, but you'd probably still hold this pivot here. So if you want to have a tighter, stop for a better risk reward ratio, you could definitely still put your stop in here. And I mean, as far as candlesticks goes, you got a bullish hammer reversal there, and now some follow through. You're back above the daily T line, so that's not a terrible place to define your risk against. Even if we do have this more complex D than E before we really blast up. But the possibility is certainly there that we just have that D already and E, and we're about to start our triangle thrust up. So if we are about to start our triangle thrust up, what would we be looking for? So let's just do a couple things. So a triangle thrust measurement is a good initial target. So what you do is you extend these triangle trend lines out, and then you just go to the origin of where the triangle started, and go like that, and just okay, and we want to get rid of the extension here. Okay, and so yeah, you go between these two trend lines just on the bar where the triangle originated from. Again, get rid of the extension. Okay, now you drag that over to where the E wave terminated. So if the E wave just terminated there, possible, right? Certainly possible. That gives us an upside, a fairly conservative upside triangle thrust target. Now these often get exceeded, but they're a good minimum objective as far as planning out a trade as far as risk reward ratio goes. So we're getting close to 15K there in the triangle thrust measurement. So if you went long from current level, you'd be looking at a pretty good risk reward ratio. So long from current levels, stop at this E wave termination point, and your target is just that triangle thrust measurement. So you'd be looking at okay, pretty good risk reward ratio there. 6.62 risk reward ratio. So for every dollar risked, you're you're gonna make almost $7 if the trade activates and performs to this kind of conservative upside target. So good risk reward ratio. If you take 10 trades like this in a row and only a few of them work, you're still in great shape. So there's that. Now let me just get rid of the extensions there. Now that we've calculated that thrust measurement, I can delete the thrust measurement as well. Okay. Now another thing is just the largest wave within the triangle. Just do a reverse Fibonacci extension of that. And that would be our A wave down here. So reverse fib. And we'll switch that to those common reverse fib targets, 1.32 and 2. Okay, so that 1.32 lines up fairly well with the triangle thrust measurement. It's about $500 higher than it. So again, in that $15,000 range, seems like a pretty high confidence upside target. And again, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Bitcoin absolutely smashed through that target and went closer to this 2.0 multiple, which would be getting closer to all-time highs, around high 19, 20K kind of thing. So even if this isn't a triangle, it's just too good of a potential trade setup for me to pass up. So I'm always long, basically at any time, a certain amount of Bitcoin, because overall it's certainly in a bullish phase here. But this is kind of what I look for when I want to put on a larger size, more tactical kind of trading size. I want something with a very clear pattern. I mean, this jumps out at me as a nice, clear Elliott wave contracting triangle. Again, a little bit of ambiguity there as to whether the D wave needs to develop more, have a more complex D, and then come down in E again. But either way, this low could still very well hold in that scenario, and I'd be certainly expecting this low to hold. That's kind of the ultimate stop there. That's where I'd have my stop. That is where I have my stop, just to give it that breathing room. So my stop is just below that 93.58 level here on Bitfinex. And I mean, it's actually slightly different because I have my position on Kraken. So on Kraken, my stop is just below here. And that is, yeah, I think I have it at 9,300. So the low here on Kraken was 9,307. My stop's at 9,300. And I didn't enter at current levels. I entered lower than that anyways, around 10,000 actually, for this kind of tactical size trade I put on. But, going back to this, and just get the price scale going here. So really, the reason I brought this up is, I mean, this might be ready to go like right away here within the next few hours, possibly, or certainly over the next, short period of days. Because if we do have this E wave in place, and if this is the correct triangle trend line that we're about to break out through potentially, I mean, this could move very quickly in a short period of time. It might have taken 3 months to consolidate within this range, but man, once this gets moving in a new impulse wave up, I mean, it could just, in a matter of hours and days, move more than it did, in a few months. So just had to put that update out there for Bitcoin. Again, this triangle may not be the valid interpretation. There could be still something else going on. We could still go down to lower lows into the 8K or less range, and actually I'd be happy with that too, because then you can load up more Bitcoin at a lower price, more bang for the buck. But right now it just doesn't look like that's happening. I mean, we went down in this A wave, came up in B, went down in C, unable to make new lows, in fact made a higher low. So we just have a series of lower highs and higher lows, that nice contracting triangle range. I love triangles because when they work, they really work. And you know exactly where you're wrong, so you have a nice defined risk-reward scenario. Pretty hard to pass this one up in my opinion. So I had to put it out there. Again, I'll do a different video just on the overall, where we're at with the wave count and, the trend structure. But this is just simply trading the pattern in front of you. And right now, I see a pretty compelling triangle, either complete or nearing completion. So I'm in. My stop's 9,300 on Kraken. Targeting, 15 plus thousand conservatively there to the upside. So the trade's already on. Let's see what happens. All right, Serial Trader signing off.